We're back. And we're back. Today on the drill down. You like my shirt?
Oh, it's a new one.
You know, we went past it. We actually did get that logo done.
Did what?
When we were in our first office, or either the first office or the...
Oh, we skipped it. Yeah. No, because this was the logo that was in the window.
Yes, you're right. Yep. So
You're right.
that was really exciting to get done, to have a professional make a logo for us.
What was wrong with mine?
It looks like a wiener. No, I love this logo. I still do to this day. I know we've got it different colors and all kinds of things. I think it actually just adds to it. Like some of those colors really pop nicely. The original red, white, and blue. It's got I don't know. It just was hit on all notes we were really looking for.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, we kept trying to do something similar ourselves.
Yeah.
We paid a professional and they did it like no problem.
You know, you say that. I feel so. This was Homer John Young, which he is
Fantastic.
the best logo maker. I mean, and you know, we work with the Midnight Marketing folks these days, and those guys are fantastic. But Homer John, I've worked with a few different times,
Right.
doing logos, and he just has an innate ability to hear through like what you're saying to get to the gist of it. I think we went through, it was maybe 10 different sheets of logos and times, and he had just like these aspects started pulling together, and what he ended up with, that was excellent.
Yeah. His first set that he gave us was pretty close to what we
Yeah,
were looking for. And then we just pulled the things together, and that's how we ended up. And it was
Right.
spot on, and it's been solid.
Yeah, I can't believe that this logo's probably knocking on 10 years. Maybe next year we get to 10 years on it.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good to know that we didn't hang out with that other logo.
Hang.
It was really the blue and brown that was tough to work with.
It really was. And the site was brown.
The site. In case anyone was wondering, no, we are not UI UX people.
Nope.
But whatever. It was good.
The site was brown, and all the brown turned to blue.
Mm-hmm. I like this rye. This is good.
Yeah, I think you gave me some of this when you moved, and I think I've had it maybe one time.
I don't know
why.
What's wrong with you.
No, it's good. Even this time, I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so this is my commercial for Cooper Family Rye. It is excellent, though. It's worth getting if you'd like. It's not expensive. It's solidly middle ground. Yeah, and it's made in Texas. Anyway, it's very good.
They are on 290 off, right, on the way to Austin.
I believe so.
I passed by.
This is Ledbetter.
Let's say Ledbetter. I passed by another one on the way. I don't know if it's the same place or not.
Yeah, for some reason I thought they were at a Bastrop, but that's
what I think that's what you had said.
Yeah,
and that's why I thought it was the same one.
Got it. Anyway, Cooper's great. Loves Cooper. All right, so we ended up last time, we were talking about kind of our new offices we had gone through. They were all shared spaces, and we kind of have this slow and steady growth. I think during that time, it went from, you and I were like 5 days, and Dwayne was two in the beginning, and then he would become into 3, and he was doing consulting and things still. And so we were looking at the next office we wanted to get.
Right.
This is the first time we ever went shopping for offices.
Yeah.
That was a different experience.
It was.
I don't know if I liked it or not.
It was fun. I mean, it's just like shopping for a house. You get to go see all these places, and half of them are crap. Actually, more than half of them are crap. It's all the leftover inventory, because it's pretty busy over here at the time, too. Mm-hmm. So it was all the kind of leftover inventory, it felt like, that we got to see. And our price range was not, the great.
And I think that's why it bugged me so much, because they're like, oh, there's some space here on Waterway. You're like, oh, that's a cool building. What is it? They're like, oh, it's 42. It's a $30 per square foot with the 42 with the $12 triple net, and you're like, and at the time I was like, why on earth do you price me per year per square foot? This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, and there's probably a reason. Someone can tell me one day, I hope, but. No joke though, it's so annoying, because they go show you this office, and then you would like gag when they tell you the price.
Yeah.
And the real estate agents are all acting like this is normal and then something's wrong with you. And I'm like, no, paying $10,000 for 1,000 square feet is insane.
It's crazy. Yeah.
10,000 per month. Let me say.
Yeah. And there's some weird ones. It's like the leftovers, like there was like that
corner
the
office.
corner office. It stayed available for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, it's 1,000 square feet, but it was like this weird triangle kind of
With
unusable
one side office,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
they were gonna give you, and it had like the drywall was one, and they gave us like there was a big zero build out, right?
Yeah.
It was like take it as is, and you're like, okay.
I know, and then you get into like build outs and stuff, and that's such a double-edged sword because they're like, yeah, we'll give you X amount for your build out, and oh yeah, you have to use one of our vendors, and oh yeah, they cost just an absolute insane amount of money.
Right. There's obviously palms being greased there.
Yeah,
Like blow it over here, and they'll just give it some on the backside. Or
because us, we're like, well, give us $100,000 and we'll do it ourselves. We'll do it in a weekend.
fish this out.
And they're like, nope, can't do that. They're like, I mean,
Look, we did tell somebody that.
we did.
Yeah.
And
I thought I remember that.
I was being serious. They laughed about it. I'm just like, no, like, I will go read the building codes. We will do it right. I promise. And it'll cost 1/10 of what anyone else will. They just said no. But it was fun. It was fun looking at some of those offices. But
It was.
I think I just didn't like the whole, like, feel, the attitude around, like, because what we could afford was offices that's, I actually remember this. I showed you the picture of that office, the office that we would end up at. And you're like, I can smell it through the photos. And I'm like, aw.
And it was right.
Yeah. It wasn't as bad as some of the others, though. Like, I thought the ones over, like, the 2200 over here, like, just right next door to where that old building was.
Yeah.
Like, those.
With the fountain.
Yeah, with the little atriums in the middle and things like
They're
that.
old woodlands, though.
Yeah, and
Classic.
I can dig it, except for, like, they are dark and dingy, and
dark.
I'm pretty sure there's mold somewhere.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
anyway.
Quite a few of those we just were not interested in because of the dark. It was so dark and felt that way.
Right.
Closed in.
And this is so strange because we had this trajectory going at that time, and I think we had signed another big enterprise agreement. We were talking to a third, and for us, we were feeling pretty confident about where we were going, and so we went ahead and so we got a great deal on the space. It was like $10 a square foot gross, and so that's pretty good. But it was partial warehouse space, partial office space.
Yep. It's like 1,000, 2,000.
Yes. So 3,000 total square foot is what
Yeah.
we paid for, but 1,000 of that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 offices, a reception area, kitchen area, and a bathroom.
Yep.
And so we moved a rack in there. We had we had test systems run locally, and because we had moved to this data center, we didn't talk about that. We did move to a data center, but I can't tell you when. I feel like that was around that time too.
It definitely was right around that time because we did the whole rack setup in the warehouse. Remember? And we brought the trailer.
Moved to the cage.
Oh, you're right.
So we were
at the
in
same time though. Yeah.
we were in a co-located rack.
Yes.
In the place. It was called Data Foundry at the time. And so we just had a whole rack is what we had in their space, and
Right.
and that was fine. But we were just kind of bursting at what we needed, and so. But no, let's backtrack. We did go look at a bunch of offices, and we settled in on one. It's actually was nice because we were subletting it from another.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have to start with a new lease agreement or any of those things. We just went straight to a sublease. When you do a sublease, or at least in this case, we were paying the old tenant, and they were continuing to pay the lease amount, and they threw in all the furniture.
That's right. They threw in all the furniture.
Which we thought at the time was great. That furniture is still sitting in one of our storage units right now.
Which we thought was a great idea.
It says, keep that. We'll need it for the next office. I don't know. Long-term thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
It cuts both ways. Now we're paying for storage we don't need.
So what did you think about that office, though?
That office was great. There was a lot of good stuff done there.
Mm-hmm.
The warehouse space ended up coming in really handy for us to build out our inevitable move into the larger data our cage.
Arcades, yeah.
Even we used to grill.
Yeah.
So we grill in summer and that kind of stuff. That was fun. So like team stuff was good there. Work out in the gym.
Yeah, my
Or
gym.
in the gym in the garage.
Right.
Healthy.
Yeah, I brought all my weights up there, and we had weight bench and all that. And then you remember the people, the gym down the way?
Oh yeah, the frog
Yeah,
fitness.
they were moving out of that space, and there was these frog things. And if you've never seen them, like they're just these big wheels, and you can attach them back, and there's like a bench on top, so you could like sit on it and go if you wanted. Why you would, I don't know.
But you could also do it this way, right?
Well, yeah, what it had handles on the front wheels, and your feet clipped into the back wheels, and then like the wheels had turns, so you could lock it in one direction or not. So yeah, and you can have them free spool, so you really could like get on it and like surf with them. I never tried that really at all, because that sounded like a good way to die.
I still have it in my garage.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That is awesome. When's the last time you touched it? Like, when did we move out?
No, it's people see it, and then I'll get it down for them to try, and then put it back. But it's huge though.
It is.
So I need to get rid of it. But before I get rid of it, I really do want to frog down the road, but I'm just not there physically yet.
It's hard. It's so hard. I would only do this on the weekends because this is a warehouse space that we got. So you've got rows of warehouses, and in between is like where all the shipping, like the big garage doors and all the receiving and all that stuff would be. And so on the weekdays, there was too much movement going on
Right
there. But on the weekends, I could come up there and I could get on the frog thing and go down and back, and just down our row where our big office building was. And I can tell you that sounds hard.
Yeah.
It was fun though.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. Kind of awful. So we get to space though, and so you thought it smelled bad.
I mean, it was just an old building, right?
Right. It was a big warehouse.
It's
been one of everything over the years.
That's right.
So what was your thoughts once we moved in? Like, it was good or bad?
On the smell?
Yeah.
No, I mean the building ended up being fine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was old. Again, that was actually an older Woodlands area.
It drove me crazy.
It had its own charm.
Getting that sign out front, that was like, I was so annoyed. It was like $1,000. And they come out there with this decal and just like,
Stick it on.
They take the old sign down, scrape a decal off, put ours on, and say that's $1,000. And I'm just
We know how much it costs because we put one in a window.
Right. Yeah. We knew exactly what to do. But again, it was
Get it
like
official.
And that's another one I would find out later, like it's another ask for forgiveness, not permission situation.
We could have just done it.
Yeah, we should have. We should have just done it.
I liked the warehouse. It had enough space for us, and we had the game room in the back idea. We had the kitchen, everything. Yeah. I used to take calls and skateboard around in the garage.
Yes.
And create like an 8 in circles.
I love the warehouse. Yeah. Warehouse was great, and
there are lots of fun stories there. And then put our own EcoBees in.
We did, and don't know what we did to short out the system, but we sure as shit did. Are we supposed to talk about this now?
Oh, probably not. Probably not. We didn't do that. But it all worked when we left.
When we left, they did work.
You had that cool car place right next door? That was awesome. Crave?
Yeah, Crave Auto was right next to us. And in our offices, you walked, there was just 3 main offices had windows facing the parking lot there. And then our 2 interior offices, one was where we would have kind of our workroom for building servers and stuff like that, which we did a lot of back then. And then the other one was always supposed to be an entertainment room, and it
we brought all the stuff.
Right, the TV was sitting there, like the Wii was in there, and like we just never kind of wrapped it up.
Yeah, everything was there to do it. And
right.
We just never told
I don't know. I know it's a shame.
It was.
But still, we got moved into there, and like we got the grill over there. That was your grill, I think, right? You brought that.
Yep.
Some weights in. I mean, it was.
I ended up just getting rid of that grill. I moved it back because, right?
The grill was barely held together when we got it there.
Yeah.
When did you move it back to? Like, how did you even move it?
I guess rolled it.
but we did replace the burners on it and everything.
That's what I say. When I got it there, I replaced a bunch of it, and then when we moved it over. Oh no, was it? Yeah, that's right. And we needed a grill when we had moved.
Yep.
And and I went and got it. That's right. And it lasted undercover for a long time till just actually last 4th of July it broke.
That's amazing.
The wheel fell off.
That's actually really good. I was proud of the fact that I had a Traeger for 10 years, and you've got this
It's like a BBQ
$50
grill.
gas grill.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's probably 100, but still.
It was a nice birthday present. Yeah, like honestly in 2014 probably. 2013.
Listen, yeah, anyway, that's a long time ago. So, but that office was cool, and honestly, like I think when we all moved in there, we thought we'd fill up that office pretty quick. The way we were growing and like bringing on people.
That was the plan, yeah.
And we did do quite a bit there, but I felt like there was a little bit of a stall. I think we finally churned a big customer, which we hadn't done in some time, and that really hurt. And then, yeah, honestly, Dwayne cut back time while we were there because we needed him to, honestly. It wasn't a choice of his.
Right.
It was just he was able to extend his consulting time, and so we said, well, will you do that so we don't have to go back to where we were a few years ago?
That's right.
But I mean, the place wasn't that expensive, especially now that I think about it. Back then, it felt like it was a huge number. It was like $3,500 a month.
Which was a huge number at the time.
It was.
That's like a...
I know. It really, I know. And now we're like, and don't get me wrong, and I think somewhere in my brain, I'm still like, that's a lot of money. But like, it wouldn't feel like that much today.
No, but that place is probably not that price now.
That's true.
That is probably double.
Even double wouldn't feel that bad today. So.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But
anyway, it did feel really big. And but yes, let's talk about the data center situation. That was really cool. We went from having a single rack, which had a handful of Windows servers, to a cage.
Yep.
And then we...
Three-rack cage. Yeah.
Three-rack cage. We didn't talk about this before. We moved from that Liberty
That's right.
data
We
center.
skipped the entire move from Liberty.
Right. Which those are always, you know what was the funnest part of, those were such fun times to do. And then I think because Dwayne loved that stuff so much, that Dwayne would be the one who showed up in his truck with like 2 cases of beer, and we were going to stay up all night and have fun and move our data center.
It was a party.
It was.
Both of.
And we did, and we were so, I mean, honestly, like we moved entire data centers, like configured everything in one night. And I mean,
Twice.
Yeah, twice.
One was a quicker move because it was just right over the...
But that's important. But it's not, though, because remember, we were at their rack, and then Dwayne got all those racks into our warehouse. We had to get those in. We had to put all the... we had to do all the connections with those. We had to run all the cabling with those. And then we came in with new servers into those to start with.
That's right.
And then we started, and we
only pulled over a few of the stuff, right?
Right. And then we took some of the other stuff out. So we actually did a lot. At least that second time we prepped it a little bit. But that I always say that as Dwayne's, like, when that was on, like when it was like these weird after hours moving things, it was like right up Dwayne's alley, and it was so much fun to do.
It was a blast.
I have a lot of memories of those. It's the only reason to be on-prem. That's worth it.
The bonding.
Yeah. But then again, what developer startup group is building their own data center too?
That's true. I mean, I still love going to the data center. It's something different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get to go through all of the security. You feel a little bit like Mission Impossible, right? Like all of the...
You used to. No, lame. Back then, you would have to type in your code and stick your hand in the thing, and it did a hand scan.
Yeah, well,
that was awesome.
Yeah, now you don't feel as cool.
But
stupid.
Scanning a card. Who cares?
Right. Now it just feels like walking through an office building.
But that is something to note, though. Like, I think there's aspects of what we started that I don't know how anyone else could do bootstrapped, because we did everything.
Building the servers, because the servers we needed, if you went and bought them, they're going to be ridiculous, right? It's new from Dell or even used at the time.
And even if your revenues are $700K, $800K a year, you can go buy 4 $30,000 servers. Like, that is not in the cards.
Right. We can build them, though.
Yeah, you can build them for $5,000.
Yep.
And that's what we did. We built several servers. And then the security side of things, it's just kind of fortuitous that we would work in some of the previous roles we did is you went through all the Cisco training over the
Right.
years, and I did all of the firewall with SonicWall and everything like that over the years. I had an experience with the multi-location VPN, and
Right.
we had that set up with our systems because our office had the local VPN, and it tied to the data center's VPN. Good expertise.
It was a good mix of skills between the three of us that could make it all work.
Yeah.
Like you said, I think you'd be hard pressed to find that skill set.
Well, yeah, because honestly, today it's hard to find a true full stack developer who goes front end to back end. Like, everybody's so specialized. So find me a full stack developer who's also a sysadmin and an architect and
run networking or
and security.
Kubernetes.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, but we come from a different time. Now we're ancient.
That's what I was saying. We watched all of this kind of come together, build up to it, and so we've kind of had our hand in all of it as it came around, And so now jumping in fresh is hard because there's so much.
That's very
just
true.
Drink from the fire hose, and it's easier to focus in one area, right, and go with it.
No, that's very true. And yeah, back in early 2000s, that wasn't an option. There wasn't a front-end developer position.
Right.
You were just, you had a web developer, but if you couldn't do the back-end side too, like, you had a hard time finding a job.
Yeah, absolutely. They weren't going to hire you just to do some JavaScript.
Yeah, no doubt. Like, yeah, it's crazy. So, but yeah, doing the data center stuff, that's such a fun thing to do. So if you get into the discussion with cloud versus on-prem, you got to remember how fun it is.
What about the fun?
That's the worst quote I've ever made. When you're considering being on-prem, think about how fun it is to work all night moving servers. Should we have told people that we were drinking the whole time we did that?
Probably. I mean, not. Not.
It's all good. I don't care. But it's true.
Hey, we did it without going down. Not the first big move, I don't think.
No, the first big move was non-optional to go down.
It was
we had a
hard cut.
Right, because we had to take everything out and drive for an hour and a half to get to the data center.
Because we couldn't afford to move like we did that other time. Right. We had to buy the servers. So we were still not in that, So that one was a hard cut, and the other one we did all without going down.
We did.
It was pretty impressive.
That was very good. We've done a lot of stuff, and we were talking about. I was talking to someone about this the other day about downtime, and I think that's one of the weird advantages that we have. We touched on like software being built by researchers or whatever engineers, not software people. Our architecture has always kept that in mind about uptime, about efficiency, about the speed, and all these things that other people kind of don't think about because they're not programmers. They're not on the tech side. So, yeah, we drank beer and moved data centers. So, one other interesting thing happened on. I was supposed to start a stopwatch. You guys have to know that our timer says 7:21, and I have no idea what it's. I see 4 beats and 120. Anyway, who cares?
Do some math.
We've been at it for a while, but this was also a really interesting thing we had while we were at this office is that we had our first unsolicited funding offer.
That's
right. We had somebody who we presented to as a potential customer, and he said, this group I'm working with, we're not going to buy it, but I'm really interested in what you're doing, and I have this association with this other group, and we'd like to invest in you. And so, of course, from our standpoint, we've already kind of touched on how we looked at other people who were getting investment, and we were in this office, and we're hoping we're going to grow, and so we're like, cool, this could be really nice. And the funny part is that they gave us a pretty great valuation at the time. It was a little over 10x of our multiple in our revenue. But again, that came out of nowhere. We went through and did some minor diligence items to get to the term sheet, which I'll tell anyone, like, the term sheet, getting a term sheet is challenging enough. You do need to mitigate the amount of diligence required to do the term sheet. You don't want to invest too much time before the cards are on the table.
Right.
We've seen that since then a little bit, and yeah, and it's a real thing because you want to chase it sometimes. It seems like it's so good, and when you look back at it, you're like, I wasted a bunch of time that way.
Right.
And so you need to get cards on the table pretty quick, even if they're just preliminary, even if there's are catches or pullbacks, whatever there may be. You just need to get the cards on the table.
See if y'all in the same round.
Yeah. Yeah, and it moves anyway. But we did. We went through the whole path and got the term sheet. And what was crazy about that is that all in all, it was not a bad offer, right?
Right. As far as I remember.
But
had a few red flags from what I remember.
Right. That was it. It had strings attached.
Mm-hmm.
And the strings were definitely red flags. And it sure just didn't feel right.
That's what it was.
Yeah. And so we had gotten so far. And anyway, we got the term sheet. And then we had dinner with them that night. And there was just something wrong about it.
It felt off.
Yeah. I can't even put my finger on it. But I knew, I mean, there was going to be some, calling them kickbacks might be strong. Fees associated. People were going to get paid for us getting that funding.
Right.
Something about that didn't feel right either.
That didn't feel right. There was some board position things that didn't feel right, if I remember right. That gave us pause.
Yeah.
And it just, I think it was kind of funny. Yeah. It just all felt off.
Yeah.
Never had one that feel like that.
Not quite like that.
Not quite. Yeah.
Because all the numbers added up okay. It was not a bad offer. Looking back, would you have taken it now?
I don't remember the number or anything. I just remember the red flags, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. And I also remember that I felt after we kind of brought those up and then they just dropped communication, I was like, those probably were real red flags.
Yeah.
And I think that's why in hindsight, I don't think I would have taken it because I felt when we've gotten offers, like the people like, okay, well, let's talk about it, right? They just went dark.
Right. Well, I think they had some personal nature to the red flags, and so that makes it hard.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it was an interesting process to go down. One that we have gone down since, again, more than once. Not like quite like that. So we've had multiple term sheets over the years, but that was the first one.
Yeah.
Maybe that in and of itself is a milestone.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm. But it's good to know, at least for people, people all, we don't try to make a fuss about it, that we are bootstrapped, but we also, wear it like a badge of honor. We've made it this far and no one has given us capital to do it. And and that's one thing I like to point out. Like, I know people who were quote unquote bootstrapped and they failed to mention that they had a line of credit from their dad or from they have a trust or whatever it may be. Yeah. It doesn't even matter. But like, and this is no shade at all on them. Like, I would, if I had that, we would have been bootstrapped as well. But I didn't, and you didn't. We both come from just, pretty normal places. And so we had to do it all ourselves. But it's good. And so we have gotten offers and we rejected them. So we do have some integrity somewhere in there. But that was a good time. I think that that warehouse was a cool place. I do think that towards the end, after not taking that offer and losing an enterprise customer for the first time, there was a little bit of a pullback that we did towards the end of that office space. Although it wasn't much of one, because we did explore upping the lease and building out like our dream office.
Yeah, we were in a pretty good spot still right there. Yeah, it wasn't too much of a pullback as far as I recall. We really wanted to, there was some stuff with the office that needed to be redone.
Right.
And we went back and forth with them, and I think they wanted to increase it a little bit, the price.
The price was going to go up.
They were going to give zero like build out basically, or with very little.
They were going to give some, and it sounded really good on paper, but that was when like, oh, you have to use our contractors, and oh yeah, and this we'll give you $100K, and our contractors are going to charge you $200K.
Right.
And that's like that's $100 out of pocket. Didn't make any sense.
Right. And so
well, and I guess the pullback, it's not pullback. It's we had planned to hire people to fill up that office.
So that was exactly it. And then everything kind of changed. Plans changed.
Right. And
hard to
so,
justify it all.
yeah, at the end of the day, we ended up saying, no, let's go ahead and move on and go find another office and maybe lean into a little bit more flex space. And because I think we were talking about it and like, we were hoping to hire sales, and we're like, if a salesperson is running out of downtown and meeting all of these people, like we don't want to have this big office here and ask them to be there.
Right.
So we thought we would move to another shared space, and we went and looked at WeWork, and we looked at this.
That's when the WeWork up here was being built.
Right. Absolutely. The WeWork in the Woodlands was being built, and we were like, well, that would be better. Let's go into a shared space. And we'll have technical people in the shared space. And if salespeople want a shared space downtown, they can do it. We could have all these options wherever you need it to be.
And all that you can.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that made way more sense to us than having this big, nice office in the Woodlands, which I love the Woodlands, but like there's very few businesses here that we do business. I mean, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10. Doesn't matter. There's 200 in the energy corridor downtown. Right. So it didn't make sense.
Right.
But so yeah, we left that building, and yeah, but it was a fun time. It was we actually grilled out there. We
grilled a lot. Yeah.
We would go by HEB, grab steaks,
grill, work in the back.
Yeah. It worked out so well. I loved that space. And honestly, I think if it could have all just stayed the same, we would have kept going there.
Yeah.
Like
it was all of it, them trying to up the rate and all that kind of stuff, us changing kind of plans. My kids still talk about we painted the walls with the dry erase marker stuff.
That we totally messed up your kids with that.
Right. And so they came into the office and they got to draw all over my wall. Well, they were pretty young at the time, and so that meant that when they went home, they didn't know that they couldn't draw all over our walls. So then they drew all over our walls, and that was
so good. I loved that. It wasn't my wall, so no, that was great. No, and that was those couple of things, like having that space. Oh, we did have a conference room. I didn't talk about that. I said we had 5 offices and a conference room, and the kitchen and that. And so yeah, we painted 3 of the walls: my wall, your wall, and the conference room wall.
That's right.
And we have pictures of that where we scaffolded just like huge amounts of plans on that. Like our entire economic system that we honestly are rolling more in earnest right now was fully scaffolded on our conference room wall, and it took up the entire wall. It was really kind of cool. I have pictures of it. I can share, but and yes, so your daughters went home and drew on the walls.
Yeah, that was cool.
Why not?
I
don't blame them.
No, I have another one. I'm still want to paint one in the garage that way, because we got big white walls in the garage.
Do you have?
I have the spare kit. I just never did it. So
it's not bad. I think I was the one who came in on a weekend and just did it.
I think you did, yeah. Well, the garage walls they're kind of dirty. I'm like, I probably need to repaint them white reprime them something.
That's true.
It's a project.
Oh yeah,
it's just for me in the garage.
It's not that expensive though. It's so nice. So yeah, that was cool. And where it ended, we ended up in this office at the end of it,
which is a good mix between the WeWork and Regis.
Right. Yeah, this is a cool place, and it still works well. And our strategy is still the same. It's, I mean, we have people all over the country, all over, and we've had people in Canada, and so it's like people need to work where they need to work, and that's I think my biggest takeaway on office space. Because we went back and forth trying to figure out what's the right kind of setup. Do you have an open floor plan? Do you have offices? Do you make like hip places nooks where people can do? And what I think we landed on is that people need variety. Yeah. Like when they need quiet time, they need a place for quiet time.
Focus.
When they want to collaborate, they need a space to collaborate. And so it's a mistake, in my opinion, to just do a one size fits all.
Yeah.
And so I don't know about you, but that's actually kind of how I work today. If I'm taking calls, I go in one place if I need to.
Really?
If I need quiet, I go to a different place.
I typically just sit at my desk, but I just shut my door. So
yeah. I work in a 15 by 15 foot vault, concrete enclosed vault. Anyway,
that's funny.
that was a good time though. Like at the end of the day, we talked about our first office. That was really fun. The warehouse is the funnest office time.
It was the funnest office time for me.
I enjoyed
as
that.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a good space.
Yep. So memories. Yeah, that was good. But and you know, like I said, we didn't grow like we wanted to, but we didn't sell ourselves out because you know there was this urge that we didn't make the movement we needed to. So let's take this capital and try to do it.
Right.
And it was felt. I do believe deep down felt like a sense of maybe our foundational pieces weren't exactly what we thought they should be. So taking money was not going to fix that.
Right.
And so I think we took a step back and reassessed some things at that time.
We did. And I think that's,
It would end up being fortuitous because in the next episode, we will talk about the COVID.
Oh, COVID.
The COVID, is that right? We're talking about the COVID.
We're there. I'm thinking timeline wise.
Yeah, that's it. The COVID, and then that could have thrown everything. I mean, I know the people who took the space over, the COVID threw them for a loop, and I kind of kept going by and get mail from them and stuff like that.
They're still there, aren't they?
Maybe, but they definitely were shut down for some time.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It had to be because everything was
right. No,
well, they did that stuff.
So, but we'll leave that for the next episode. So, all right. Great. Good one. Office.
Cut.
No. Thanks for watching.
Oh, thanks for watching.
I feel like we should.
Thanks for listening.
Next time on The Drill Down.